Hi, my name is Nancy Love, and this is a video for the Planet Peace Project, as well as for you. This, as always, is the token I wear every day to remind me of Silver Bell Samantha Love, Bhakti Yogini Love, Om Ashanti Love, Golden Akasha Love, and Starlight Zen Star Love. Justice for the cats of love. Justice, I say, and now. I want to talk about taking control of chaos. You've all experienced it. But I'd like to tell you about how, when I was only 7 years old and in second grade, I managed to save almost 600 people. Probably. People seemed to think that I had saved them. There was a fire that broke out in the school I went to. It was shaped like this. It was shaped in an H, and all the classrooms were lined up by grade on the either side of a long hallway. The hallway was wide, probably 8 to 10 feet wide, and all these classrooms were lined up with first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth along that way. There was a hallway here, a short hallway. Here was the cafeteria, and here were the administrative offices, the principal and the nurse and all these people. So, a fire broke out in the cafeteria. Smoke was pouring down the hallway into the general hallway for all these classes, right? There were two big doors here and two big doors here. And for reasons I don't think anybody ever figured out, for some reason during the middle of a school day, the two doors by the sixth grade, fifth grade, and fourth grade exit were locked. And they were bolted somehow. Doors in a school should be able to be opened from the inside, regardless of whether they're locked on the outside, but for some reason, no one could really understand. These doors were locked, and the kids down here could not get out. Fire alarms went off, and so very, very suddenly, within a matter of seconds, approximately 600 people, most of them between the ages of 6 and 12 and 13, were crowded in this hallway. There were teachers, probably 40 or 50 teachers, and the principal and the secretary and all these other people from the cafeteria came running down the hallway too to try to make some sense of the mayhem, because all of a sudden you had about 600 people in a 10 by something hallway trying to get out one tiny door. Well, I saw first graders. There's this person in the second grade. I came out of one of these doors and I saw first graders getting crushed. 6-year-old and 7-year-old children in first grade were getting stomped on, and some of them were actually injured. And I knew that it was only a matter of time before I either got pushed into a sixth grader and accidentally crushed one myself. I mean, a first grader, a 6-year-old. And it was only a matter of time before the 12 and 13-year-old kids, all the way down in sixth grade, panicked and smushed us all. So I just had this vision of complete mayhem and tragedy. And so, although I was only 7 years old, I just shouted out, "Hey! Stop! Everyone stop right now! If any of us are going to make it out of here alive, it's because we control the chaos. Everybody stop right now!" And I was a 7-year-old kid, right? But all of a sudden, 600 people listened to me, including teachers, principals. Everybody shut up, stopped what they were doing. And I said, "If you're not in first grade, if you didn't come out of," and I named the teachers, Mrs. White and so forth, class, "if you're not a 6-year-old in first grade, stand still. First graders, get out." And so all the first graders, they were shocked because some of them The teachers were having to pull these kids off the floor. Some of the first graders had already been crushed and they were injured and they were, dragging the kids outside. I said, okay, second graders, now we go. Third graders, you're next. And that's when the principal and the teachers that were in this back part of the hallway started taking control. And just, I was standing outside by then, but one by one, grade by grade, all these kids filed out. Everybody made it out alive. The fire was controlled. And after a couple of hours, people were let back in. It is my understanding or my memory that no first graders were severely injured, but the nurse had to come and, it was just a total mayhem temporarily. Well, the principal and all these teachers were coming at me going, wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. You're just a little kid, but you took control of everybody. And you made sure that chaos didn't ensue and that this massive, massive tragedy didn't happen. And people were just so thrilled and so grateful, including, and I think especially the adults, all kinds of kids I'd never spoken to. And, it was typical, fifth graders and sixth graders generally couldn't be bothered to notice or talk to second graders, but all kinds of kids who were 11, 12, 13 years old come up and slap me on the back and say, I think you saved my life today, because if you hadn't made sure all the first and second and third graders were out of the hallway, I might not have made it out alive. Because the fire was coming, the fire could have blocked their exit. If you were in fourth, fifth, or sixth grade, you might not have made it out there alive. Don't build schools in an H and never, ever, ever lock the doors from the inside. But then a lady from the fourth grade, a teacher from the fourth grade, came and talked to me, and she called me over privately while we were all still standing outside, and she said, Nancy, you saved my job today. You may have saved my life. I think you did. I think you saved a lot of us. But you saved my job regardless of whether anybody got caught in that building or not. And I said, how on earth could that happen? And she said that she had this panic attack when she saw first graders getting crushed and second and third graders in the way and, kids milling all about. She had a husband she loved. She had, I think, a 5-year-old, child at home, and she had a 2-year-old baby. And she just said she just flashed on never getting to see her husband and her children again. And she said she didn't know whether it was the mother in her or what, but she wanted to leap over the heads of all these first, second, and third graders. She told me that she was about to start crushing little kids herself just to get out and save her own life so that she could see her own children again. And I'll never forget how somber she was in talking to me about how I had helped save her career, because she said there's no way, even if no one was seriously injured and no one died, there was no way she would have survived as an elementary school teacher if she herself had run screaming over a bunch of 6-year-olds to get out. And I said, well, I'm glad I could help, And, yeah. So that's how a 7-year-old took command over chaos. Now I suggest you do the same. Because we've all experienced chaos. We've all experienced the chaos of criminality in our churches, our schools, our homes, our businesses, the legal system. And here's a few things I'd like to say. Somewhere in a really good book, it says, out of the mouths of babes comes truth. Somewhere it says, and a little child shall lead them. Yeah, and a little child shall lead them. Someone recently told me that I seemed like a child to her, and I was offended. I said, I'm in my 60s and I'm, brilliant, and I've got a good education and decades of business experience, and I'm a profession, I'm a counselor and all this stuff. And she said, no, 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 no. You misunderstood completely. She said that my purity and my willful, perpetual innocence and my goodness and my infinite trustworthiness made her perceive me as childlike. And she said, it's beautiful. She wasn't being condescending, she was complimenting me. And I'm really grateful because it turns out that she also has, in spite of her own experience, found something of childlike purity in herself after all these decades. So let's say you're in the film and TV industry or the music industry or some other industry in which all your friends are drugged out and drunk all the time. And the cocaine use and the alcohol use and the speed freaks and all the crap of that nature is just so rampant that you can barely ever talk to anybody. And, people can't really conduct business correctly because of the chaos in their minds. I know some people who said they're on at least 7 major drugs plus alcohol, and they have massive, massive, horrifying chaos that causes them to do hideous things. They are chaos. They are human chaos because they can't find their own minds with 7 drugs plus alcohol. So take command of the chaos. Be a good role model for your friends. Find a way or make a way to get yourself clean. But rampant drug use and alcoholism and things like that, that's a form of chaos. What if you're in a business and the employees aren't treated well? They are abused and taken advantage of, and the customers are cheated. The customers are also being sold inferior goods or offered inferior services. Take command of the chaos because you owe it to yourself and your own integrity and the world. What if you're in a political office and you see rampant corruption and you see worthless people who seem to have power and authority over others and over laws who are committing injustice? Take command over the chaos, will you? What if you're an attorney? What if you're a police officer or a federal agent? What if you're in a district attorney's office? What if you're a crooked judge? What if you're a corrupt judge presiding over chaos and criminality and corruption? What if you go to work in one of those contexts, legal context, and you see chaos and you see criminals being helped and victims being abused, and you see lies being perpetuated, lies that pretend to be true? Take command over the chaos in your life. Take command over the chaos in your community and your business and professional context. Take command over the chaos in your personal life, in your personal body, and in your family, and in your neighborhood. Take command over chaos like a child. And when you wonder if you have the courage and you wonder if you have the strength of character, remember the day a 7-year-old kid saved almost 600 people. Take command over chaos like a child.